Oh, hi. I wanted to jump on here today and talk about a few astrology things because there's a few important things happening this week astrologically. So first up is, I'm going to try and make this not too long because I could go on for hours about it all, but I'm going to try and make it sort of quick. So first thing is a full moon in Taurus in Australia. It's the 16th. But this full moon is actually a super moon. And being in Taurus, it's probably going to push you towards the things that bring you comfort in life. Taurus is big on comfort and stability, and all things that are, tangible and sensual and, creature comforts as well. But interestingly with this one is that there is an aspect with Uranus, and Uranus is the planet that is more about change and reminders that things can change really suddenly in life. So it could be that this supermoon means it changes the way you start to feel about things, either in big or small ways. You might be feeling like an urge to break away from situations where you feel stuck, or you might get some kind of unexpected sign or knowledge or insight that prompts you to maybe start to look at taking different paths around things. Uranus brings big themes of freedom and authenticity. And so that sort of may feel a bit at odds with Taurus, that likes things to be, stable and tangible and predictable in a sense. But because Taurus is also big on values, the energies together can help you to look at where you might be feeling restricted or stuck, and then, take the actions that can help you change that while still aligning with your values and the things that make you feel stable in life, that bring you that security. And it's the Taurus part of this energy is very grounding. So even though you might be being pushed towards shifts that might be unexpected or changes, and taking different paths, it is a good energy for allowing you to evolve, to get grounded and look at how you want to evolve and grow, and that in a safe way, that it's safe and trust that it's safe to do so, because it will be helping you it'll be guiding you towards the life and the values and the things that you want in life that really resonate with who you are, and what you stand for, and those long-term plans and the things that do bring you stability and that sense of comfort. Overall, it's really just asking you to ask yourself what you might be holding on to that's comfortable, and where you might need to let go so that you can allow in growth and maybe transformation. That's really what this combination of energies from Uranus and Taurus are doing. And it's made even more potent with full moon energy. So that's that for the full moon in Taurus this month. And then moving on, we have also on the 15th of November, Saturn stations direct. So Saturn has been in retrograde since June, and it's now what we call stationing direct. So Saturn is what we could call the wise old taskmaster of the planets. It is the planet of structure, of discipline, of focusing on long-term goals. When Saturn's in play, it's often bringing you a lesson that you need to have, even though it may not feel easy at the time and it might feel a bit challenging. That's what Saturn is usually doing. So when it's in retrograde, you might be reevaluating responsibilities, reconsidering long-term plans. You may find that you find delays, slow progress, limitations. It might bring up past mistakes or things that have been unresolved, and that you then end up having to confront and deal with. And it's, yeah, things might feel like there's lots of obstacles during this time, but it's often also a time where you're experiencing things internally. So the external things may not shift as much, but you'll be having a lot of inner growth as you reflect on all of those things that I mentioned before, the unresolved issues and your paths in life and your ambition, and where you might be needing to look at set boundaries, work around limitations, learn lessons. Yes. Just reassessing a lot of things in your life. So then when Saturn stations direct, which is what's happening on the 15th, you might start to feel there's more of a shift to move forward, or more momentum to move forward. You might feel like you've got more clarity, more purpose around your sense of direction. Then things may start to appear more tangible externally. So things that you've reevaluated during the retrograde or been focusing on internally, or had to confront, the results from those things, will start to materialize in a more tangible way. It's like the work that's done in private during the retrograde starts to show in public. So that sense of feeling stuck, and the limitations, the delays, the obstacles that you may have been experiencing will start to ease, which also helps you with that forward momentum. What else? Yeah, there's just generally more of a sense of clarity as well then, and new understanding on how you can apply things in practical ways to move forward. So we're really moving. Retrograde had us in a time of inner reflection, slowing down, dealing with the past, confronting limitations and obstacles, and then with being stationing direct, we're turning into where momentum picks up again. Things can start to move forward. You've got that clarity, stability, and tangible results, which is all really positive in my book. But it's both are necessary, so to work together. So what you had during retrograde and what we have as Saturn stations direct, all of the themes around that are both necessary to be able to change structures, take on our responsibilities and our lessons that we may need to have had, and put discipline in our lives where we may need to put it. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about, and I may even end up doing a separate post about this as well because this can go really deep, but essentially this is really for my Aries, Cancer, Libra and Capricorn signs out there, people out there. And I am a double Cancer with a sun and rising in Cancer. So these are the cardinal signs in astrology. And since 2008, Pluto has been sitting within Capricorn. So Pluto is a slow moving planet. So when it's moved in a sign, it stays there for a long time. And because of that, it has a strong impact on individuals, but the collective as well. So while as a collective, globally, people will feel the effects of Pluto and Capricorn, those 4 cardinal signs will have felt it more strongly. But the good news is that from the 19th of November, Pluto is actually moving out of Capricorn and into Aquarius. And it's a very different feel from Pluto in Capricorn to Pluto in Aquarius. Those cardinal signs, since 2008, when it moved in there, you have probably experienced massive transformation. You may have had some challenges with this transit. Pluto brings things to the surface in order to change and grow for the better. But like it's almost like volcanic in that those things just erupt to the surface. And we may not always know how to handle them and how to deal with that when it happens quickly and explosive. So it's like Pluto exposes things, like the dirt and the deeper sides of things, and maybe sort of you could say the darker side of things. But we have to face all of those things to be able to find better solutions to things, like clear out the dirt so that you can have something clean, I guess. I feel like I'm losing my words because I've been talking so much. But essentially what's happening here is that things are being broken down and rebuilt. On a personal level, particularly for those cardinal signs, this may have been around issues around control, authority, discipline, questioning your relationships to power and the systems that you're a part of. Collectively, there has been transformation of systems and institutions. So there can be a lot of focus on this around governments, corporations, traditional systems of power. And, you know, those sort of institutions and collectively, Pluto and Capricorn either forces us to adapt or collapse. There may be reevaluating of ambitions, of legacy, of structure. Capricorn's energy is like hard work and achieving long-term goals, while Pluto pushes you to face deep fears and insecurities and outdated beliefs. So if you are one of those cardinal signs and you have felt all of that or struggled with all of that over the last 15 years, then the good news is that from the 19th, Pluto is actually entering Aquarius. And as I said, it's a very different feel. So Aquarius is ruled by Uranus that I was talking about before. And it's connected to innovation, technology, humanitarianism, rebellion, and the future. So we could potentially be looking at profound social changes around all of those things. And there's a real sense of still transformation. So there still could be big changes happening. But it's about collective progress and breaking free from tradition. And so this is more about where the cardinal signs were more impacted with Pluto in Capricorn. The fixed signs will be more impacted. So if you've got any of your core placements in Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, then the next 20 or so years is potentially bringing that transformation and those changes for you. But even though I was saying how Pluto has to bring shit to the surface and it may not always feel particularly easy or smooth, I don't want people to feel scared by this, because like I said, when it's in Aquarius, it's a very innovative energy. So if you can consider that any of those changes are happening for you, not to you, then that will help you to navigate this transit. And even though it may seem like a really long time, it'll help you break free from the old, from limitations that you might experience, old patterns of limitations that you might have, and it'll help you to be more authentic, to feel more authentic, particularly in your self-expression. It may change how you view your individuality and your freedom. It may relate to your role in society. And it could be a time of real liberation, like breaking free from, whatever it is that you might feel like holds you back in terms of outdated conditioning or social norms, old ways of thinking. I feel like I'm really starting to ramble when I said I was going to keep this short. It might empower you to, particularly around collaborations and relationships, career, community. What else? And possibly around areas where power might feel unbalanced in your life. This energy might work to redistribute it in a more balanced way, which will help you feel more liberated. There could be a big focus here for you on things around social causes, online communities, technology, new interests, that may be a bit outside the box. Could be just new ways of thinking, which, even though change might seem scary, it actually is a benefit. It's a positive thing. But like I said, Pluto stays in one sign for a long time, so the changes could be slow. Even though they're big transformations, they're slow ones that take place over a long time. And if we fast forward to the end of this transit and look back, we'll probably see a radically different world, particularly around those structures that I've talked about. Social structures and traditional institutions, government, technology, how the world connects globally. So around technology, activism, human rights, climate change, collective action, all of those sorts of things. So it's sort of a watch this space, but yeah, so for those cardinal signs, get excited because hopefully life does start to feel a little bit easier now. I mean, for me, I'm going from from Pluto in Capricorn with my double Cancer to Pluto in Aquarius where my moon is in Aquarius. So I'm just moving from one like transformative cycle to another. So we'll see what it holds, but looking at it as a positive. Like I said, very different feel to being in Capricorn. Maybe not so much about responsibilities and things like that, because that's what Capricorn is about. But yeah, innovation and change for the better is how I'm choosing to look at it. So I know I said I was going to try and make this a short one, but I've just done it for like 20 minutes. I don't even know where I'm going to be able to upload this because it's so long. Anyway, we'll work that out. So I hope all of that was of benefit to you. And if you have any questions or want to know any more, because there is so much more that I could talk about on all those things, full moon in Taurus, Saturn going direct, and particularly Pluto moving into Aquarius. So let me know if you have any questions about what it might look like for you. Have a great day.